I don't want that free blues. Free blues.
Welcome back. This is Free Blues Boxing. Hit the like and subscribe and the
Sheesh.
notification bell for unlimited boxing content, knowledge, wisdom, and experience. You know what it is. We are back. January 2nd is going down on the zone. We have Ryan the Flash Garcia versus Luke Campbell. I find this to be a very interesting fight to be made. It's obvious that styles make fights, and you can't base how the fight is going to happen based on their previous fights with other opponents. On paper, Ryan Garcia is one of the most famous boxers out today, one of the most well-known boxers. He's 22 years old. Ring Magazine's got him ranked the sixth best lightweight in the world. He signed under Oscar De La Hoya and the Golden Boy promotion. Let's not forget, he's got like 8 million followers on Instagram. He has the marketing and the backing to be the next face of boxing. The kid is super talented. He's 20-0 with 17 knockouts. He stands at 5'10", and he's going to be a serious problem in the sport. Remember at one point everyone was saying Gary Russell Jr. has the fastest hands in boxing. I would argue Ryan Garcia has fast hands just like Gary Russell Jr., but not just fast. He's got the power to back it up as well. The young bull is talented, and he's one of the most entertaining lightweights in the division. He's fearless, he's competitive, and when you name all the other the star lightweights in the division, the Devin Haney's, the Teofimo Lopez's, the Tank Davises, you have to mention Ryan Garcia. The last year or so, I've been seeing him training with Canelo and Canelo's trainer. I totally see the difference in the way he trains, how he fights, most importantly, how explosive he has become, and also his ring IQ as well. You can call me Ryan Garcia has the meanest hook and the meanest counter left hook in the boxing game, period. I mean, his fast twitches, his power, and he's 5'10". He's very tall at the lightweight division. His length, his long arms is pretty underrated as well. Size definitely matters in boxing. On top of that, he has a phenomenal, long, snappy jab. Much better than Luke Campbell's, by the way. If Luke Campbell is not prepared for Ryan Garcia's athleticism, the night could be short. Keying in on Ryan and how he's been looking these last few fights. I mean, did you see what he did to Francesco? February of this year, Ryan stopped Francesco in the first round in just a minute and 20 seconds, something like that. I was highly impressed. He ended up knocking out Francesco with that counter left hook. Like I said, it's a deadly left hook, and it looks like if you got hit with it, it would sting. It's got the perfect snap on it. Canelo in his camp has definitely helped Ryan Garcia perfect the snappiness on his punches. When you're training with the pound per pound number one best fighter, along with Terrence Crawford, 1A, 1B, however you want to put it, the resume speaks for itself. Canelo Alvarez has only lost to Floyd Mayweather, and when he lost, Floyd was well past his prime. Canelo was just a pup. He was 22, but I don't know, like I said, the resume speaks for itself. Ryan Garcia being around that type of experience, that type of wisdom, it definitely elevate his game into the next level. One thing the boxing world should take into account is that when Gervonta Tank Davis fought Francisco, it probably went to, I believe, half the fight, like maybe the 6th or 7th round, until Tank eventually stopped him with a body shot. Ryan Garcia ended up stopping Francisco in the first round. That definitely is a statement. Luke Campbell is just going to have to look out for that power. There's been interviews with Campbell talking about how he's going to stop Ryan Garcia. And in fact, he hasn't done any research. He just seen some highlights and said that Ryan, he has power in both his hands, but basically he doesn't look like anything special. In my estimation, it's going to be a rude awakening for Luke Campbell. Campbell, in my eyes, has become one of the gatekeepers in the division. Don't get me wrong, he's a tough fighter. This is definitely a test for Ryan Garcia, his first test. Campbell is on the back end of his career ever since those losses to Jorge Linares and Lomachenko. He hasn't been in the ring since August 2019. That's definitely going to be a huge factor. The guy's going to be a little rusty. I was highly disappointed in Luke Campbell's fight versus Lomachenko. He looked slow. His defense was terrible. And he just pretty much just let Loma put the pressure on him. It was nothing that he could really do. Luke Campbell's fight against Linares, he looked much better. He looked sharp. He looked powerful. He was throwing punches and bunches. He dictated the fight at times. If that's the Luke Campbell that he brings come January 2nd against Ryan Garcia, it's a chance that it may go the distance. But like I said, Ryan Garcia's athleticism, his mentorship, his speed, his ring IQ is just going to be too much for Luke Campbell. A lot of boxing critics think that Luke Campbell is just going to have his way against Ryan Garcia when they do get into the ring. And I totally disagree. Ryan Garcia, he's not an overrated boxer. He's not overhyped. He's the real deal, and it's going to show. Not to take anything away from Lomachenko. I believe he's a great fighter as well. But you have to categorize Luke Campbell as one of those fighters who, can't step up to the plate and really bring the competition to top fighters. When he fought Loma, the second half of the fight, especially the 11th and 12th round, he pretty much was just running away. He was on survival mode. And besides him getting dropped in the 11th round, he tried to even tackle Lomachenko in the 12th. Stamina is going to be a huge factor. And if he fights like this against Ryan, he will definitely get outpointed. You have to take into account Luke Campbell's chin. So like I said, he was dropped by Lomachenko. He was dropped by Linares in the second round with that straight right hand. If Ryan Garcia feints to the body the way that Jorge Linares did against Luke Campbell, and then landed that beautiful right hand that eventually knocked Luke Campbell to the canvas, I see Luke Campbell being stopped by Ryan. Luke Campbell does not look well against talented and pressured fighters. Ryan Garcia is talented enough to expose those flaws that he's seen where in those couple fights with Luke Campbell against Linares and Lomachenko. And like I said, he could give him some real problems. Another thing you have to take into account when it comes to Luke Campbell, not only with being out of the ring for over a year, the ring rust I'm talking about specifically, but not only that, but the reason why the fight, it was originally scheduled December 5th. The reason why it was pushed back to January 2nd was because Luke Campbell was diagnosed with the COVID-19. His COVID test came back positive. So not only the year layoff, he was exposed by Lomachenko. I just can't see him winning this fight. Like I said earlier, this is definitely a test for Ryan Garcia. Depending on which fighter you're going for, it is a must-win. This is Luke Campbell's last try to show the boxing world that he is still on top of his game. Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell, live on DAZN, January 2nd. Put in the comments who you think is going to win. That's all for today.
Free Blues
games. This is Free Blues Boxing. Hit the subscribe, like, and the notification bell for unlimited boxing content, knowledge, wisdom, experience. You know what it is. Until next time, peace out.